What's up YouTube? Welcome back to Flying Dutchman videos and welcome to part 8 of my Bioshock Infinite Let's Play. We start in the middle of things, namely tripping our balls off on Bucking Bronco. And we're still on our way to the First Lady airship. Unfortunately, our plan has been a bit complicated because we need Shock Jockey to get there. So this is a bit of a side quest, forced side quest really to get ourselves some electrical vigor.
Let me be abundantly clear. Open fire. Cornelius Slate is no hero. He's been living down the drinking so long that the man has gone.
It's a good opportunity to use some of the area of effect powers in the vigors. This is a somewhat more open combat arena. Weirdly enough, all of the guys and all of your enemies are like more or less in this central square. It's a bit of a missed opportunity, if you ask me. Yeah.
Comstock will hear our voice. His temple shall burn, and his idols of gold will melt and run in rivulets.
It's the first indication that the Vox Populi might not be all that better than Comstock when it comes to ideology. When it comes to ideology, Jesus. Ideologically, yeah, there we go. Ideologically laden propaganda.
Did you hear that, Comstock? That is the sound you have never heard. The sound of a soldier's end. Come to your hall of heroes.
It's worth noting that I didn't find the solution to that Vox cipher in the toilets we saw just now, but I discovered it on my second playthrough. The code book to it is in the cannon in the building on the opposite end of the square. And then you can it gives you a riddle about tipping the hat, and there's a hat on there's a hat hung on the wall, I think, in the stall you're at, and you can select that, and when you do, it gets tipped and a secret compartment door opens, and behind that is your secret hidey hole. This is the cannon I was talking about. The code book is right in the muzzle of this thing. It's a little side area behind here, cashier's area. You can pick up some stuff. I think there's a safe there, and I believe also a voxophone. Though I'm not entirely sure, but I guess we'll find out here in just a bit. Don't be afraid to spend some money on upgrades if you're playing on normal or what have you, because money is fairly plenty, so you don't have to be afraid of running out if you buy one or two upgrades.
Here's some cash.
That'll do.
There's some money underneath that slot machine or whatever it is.
God makes all kinds of soldiers, but he only made one.
Duke and Dimwit machine,
Cornelius
I should
Slate.
say.
My
father followed him up San Juan Hill, through the legations in Peking, and as he put it, through hell the order was given. At today's muster, Slate asked me if I was Sergeant Monroe's daughter. I said, yes, sir, I am. Slate said, your father always wanted a son. I hope the fool has wisdom enough to recognize his good fortune.
So, as you might have heard, there's a raven, one of the weird enemies in the game, chasing us. Nothing some Devil's Kiss doesn't deal with. They seem to be very vulnerable against like incendiary weapons, so try to use that if you can.
Okay, on second thought, I think those tears of yours might come in handy next time we're in a scrape.
Well, there has to be a tear around for me to use. I can't just pull them out of thin air. They shut down gondola access to the Hall of Heroes. Must be because of what's going on with that man Slate.
Well, I suppose we could take those skylines above us. We just need to find a way to clear off that cargo first.
This is going to be fantastic.
Think that keen eye of yours can find some ammunition lying around? I sure could use it when there's trouble.
It'll take some scrounging, but I'll do my best. The line's clear.
I just realized this, but I totally forgot about the back area in the store. So if you can, try to get in there before you take the skylines, because there's some somewhat valuable stuff in there. At least it's it doesn't hurt. It's fairly useful to have. I think. Don't pin me down on this, but I think there's a voxophone there as well. I do believe you come back to this area, so even if you do forget it, it's not a big deal, but obviously it'd be handier if you got it the first time around. So don't be like me.
I actually know the fella. Seems he's still got a knack for making enemies.
You shed your heart's blood for Columbia, lost limb and viscera in the godless Orient. Comstock did nothing. And yet, look up. Whose image squats above you even now? At every angle and insult. If the prophet would make a painted whore of our past, what fresh rape does our future hold? Let us now make our stand and fill yonder hole with true heroes.
So yeah, Slate turns out to be the guy that has the Shock Jockey. So, which you might have guessed, things don't end too well. Though you do have a choice.
Sniper rifle. Ammo! Catch! That's all I have right now.
Doesn't entirely reach my enemies. But
Sniper, be careful!
for some dumb reason, I was more obsessed with the sky rails at this point than actually shooting those guys. But there we go.
See what else I can find.
Just blame that on this being my first playthrough. It's me acting like a dumbass.
Looks like we found where your old friend Slate is.
Just find that shock jockey.
And ran it around the
This is not too great of a combination, because the sniper rifle and the RPG are both long-range weapons, so it's actually fairly hard to use this without a scope. So you've been warned. It's possible, but you shouldn't count on just pulling no scopes all the time. And I don't think it one-shots enemies either. This little area to our right, the staircase, is an area we can get to once we get Shock Jockey. So I don't believe I remember to do this in this playthrough, but once you get back to this area, make sure you go back to that little staircase and use Shock Jockey on that machine. So the locked door opens and you can go upstairs, and there's a voxophone and some resources up there.
Want to hold on to this? Take it.
Perfect timing.
I don't think they ever explain what that stuff is that floats around in the little containment chamber thing on top of the Shock Jockey machine. So, or maybe I've just missed a voxophone. It's weird because I got the idea that I didn't pick up a lot of voxophones, but did end up picking up the vast majority of them. So now we're in the Hall of Heroes and that much closer to Cornelius Slate, our old commander. And what we need to continue on in the game. Though, as I said, it's not going to happen without a fight, obviously. I do get the feeling that normal in this game is easier than the first two Bioshocks for some reason. Some stuff to our left here, another register. That didn't go entirely as planned.
They'll call us assassins when our work is done. Cornelius Slate, the swift left hook of the Vox Populi. We'll be trading Comstock's life for a new one. So be it. The Fitzroy woman and I are comrades of necessity. I doubt all the men who reddened Caesar's toga would still be seen breaking bread together in peacetime. With Comstock gone, my men's past deeds will be sacred, and they will claim the spoils due them. I need not live to see it.
So yeah, it seems Comstock's quote-unquote betrayal had quite the effect on Slate, to the end of him siding up with the Vox to get rid of him.
Man did not leave the 7th. Hell, I don't even remember the guy.
Corporal DeWitt proved his worth on the field that day.
Well, I'll be.
Slate? Is that you?
You've always been different, haven't you, Booker? You crave no glory.
Look, I see you're caught up in some kind of jam here. If you could see fit to let us through to where they keep this Shock Jockey,
It's kind of a weird system of abasement. Comstock gets all the glory and all. He gets everything in Colombia, and the normal citizens or his servants just get nothing basically. And as long as you're basically a wasp, you get to live a decent life. Other than that, you're basically fucked. Yeah, it's a question of is this prophecy, this system of religion, really just camouflaging a system of exploitation that benefits like the small oligarchy that exists in this weird floating city. So mainly people like Jeremiah Fink and Comstock.
Just give us the shock jockey.
If you want the vigor, you will give my men soldiers' death. They wait for you in me and Peking.
Really though, like that's another one of the questions this game poses, is one extreme ideology really better than the other? Like the Vox stand for some kind of weird socialism, but is that really better than some kind of religiously infused like patriotism, some kind of political religion? I think that's why this is probably the best Bioshock, because at this point in the game you start noticing that there's more to be found here, more to like think about than just the class struggle beat that we know from the previous Bioshocks. Because if it was just that, while still interesting and probably a decent game on its own, like that thing about like the rifts and like the weird alternate universes really add something to it that previous Bioshocks didn't have. And really, like, it retcons the previous games to a degree to make sense of all of that, which is kind of fun, to be honest. Like, they could have really messed that up, but it makes sense to a degree, even though it's really weird.
This?
It's the Boxer Rebellion.
What happened there?
So this is the first combat area of the Hall of Heroes. Basically short little arenas where you fight Slate's men. It's not really all that hard. Like these two areas, yeah, visualize the manufactured history of Comstock. Or at least we think it's manufactured at this point in the game. Again, there's some really weird stuff going on that I won't get into now, but the fact that Comstock is thought of or does make up his own like combat history figures into the relationship between the main characters in a very meaningful way.
Was yellow skin and slanted eyes that did betray us with their lies, until they crossed the righteous path of our prophet's holy wrath.
So yeah, this political religion of a hyper America, if you will. Like, it's all well and good to like.
Oh, I read about this. Comstock led the
strive to the complete actualization of your country, like, to make it the greatest nation. But like what we see here is that it basically starts to exclude people who don't fit into Comstock's ideal, which is a lot of people actually, because it's basically everyone that isn't white and very Christian, or at least very Protestant. So in that sense, this game does, like I said, fit into the grand tradition of Bioshock being social commentary. Though I guess 2 wasn't really as much of a innovative, or at least I shouldn't say innovative because the games weren't that innovative, but 2 didn't really stand on its own because it basically took place in 1's universe, whereas 1 really did offer some commentary in the same vein as Bioshock, but it's with Andrew Ryan's Randian philosophy, the great chain and everything. I even think Andrew Ryan is an anagram for Ayn Rand. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but that's what I like about these games, that they're smart in a way you don't normally see in games. There's a lot of things to be thought about, a lot of things to be discovered, and you can detract from its like storytelling mechanism through these audio diaries, but it does give you incentive to really get the most out of the game to explore. So that's been the 8th part in my Bioshock Infinite Let's Play. Please rate, comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought about these videos so far, and I will see you for the next couple of vids. Later.